How you doing, guys? So I'm back on the cutting trail. I gained back a few pounds with my lovely fiance for 6 days, but I'm back to timed eating, and I'm already starting to shed fat. Also feeling low energy at the same time. Nonetheless, I want to talk to you today about low volume or going all out in low volume versus high volume in training. One of the things I've learned as a personal trainer is that not every client that I train responds the same way. Okay, I'll use the bodybuilder Ronnie Coleman as an example. He would literally he would do tons and tons of sets, traditional high volume training. He would go from 8 to 15 reps, depending upon the exercise, 20 to 25 sets, crazy stuff. But that worked for him, worked for his body. He was able to get a lot of volume out of it. The idea is behind high volume training, for example, if you do 12 reps of 220 pounds on the bench, the next week you want to come back and you want to do 10 reps of 225, or you want to do 11 reps of 220. Okay, so with high volume training, it's still progressive overload. You cannot get away from progressive overload, right? So, we can crap on, shit on powerlifters all day long who carry, 25 pounds of body fat, but they're super strong, alright? We can crap on them all we want, but at the end of the day, even as we're sculpting our bodies, and I wasn't born yesterday, I know what you're trying to do. You go to the club, you wear super tight shirts, checking out the talent, trying to attract the talent. Guys, I know how it is. I was single once too. Now I just want to show off to my fiance, and for those of us that are just passionate about bodybuilding, you would know that our bodies are like art. We like to shape them, sculpt them, make them bigger. But I know how it is. You want to take your shirt off at the gym, your shirt off at the beach, and everyone goes, wow, everyone's staring at you, and if you're a girl, you want that booty popping to meet that guy that's gonna stick with you and stay by you for the rest of your life, and fall in love and romance you. I know how it all works. But either way, high volume can be really effective if you respond to it. Alright, now, I've seen people plateau, or I've had clients plateau on it, where they just can't seem to get past certain points, sticking points, and I've seen people not respond to it as well. Why is that? Well, there's a number of reasons why it could be biologically. However, it is always good to experiment. I actually, for my own training, combine high volume with low volume. Right, so let me just talk about the opposite end of the spectrum, Mike Mentzer. Okay, Mike Mentzer was a champion bodybuilder, looked tremendous. But this was the way that Mike Mentzer trained, right? He'd do 4 exercises. Talk about the opposite end of the scale. So, Mike Mentzer, champion bodybuilder. Some of you would have heard of him, some of you wouldn't. But this was his philosophy and training style. He would pick 2 exercises, and he would do 2 sets between 6 to 9 reps. In those 6 to 9 reps, he would pick the heaviest weight he could lift possible. And each week, he would up the weight. Now, if you look at Mike Mentzer's pictures, what you will notice is that he was smaller and he was stockier, which leads me to believe that at times those who are smaller and stockier probably do better lifting heavier weights and gaining mass that way. That's an entirely different message. That's a biological message, and we will look at that. But that was his method of training. Now, I mix the two together. All right, high volume really is just high reps. Low volume is just low reps. It's really the same thing. It's progressive overload. But see, even if you're just doing I know it sounds small, but even if you're just doing 4 sets in the gym, if you're going all out 6 to 9 reps, and each week you're upping that weight, all right, you're going to grow. Your muscles are going to grow, all right? You'll see difference. I mean, if you've been doing high volume for 5-10 years, and that's all you've been doing, try something different. It's amazing how many people I've put on low volume exercise routines and seen them grow, and they were getting no results on high volume. I sort of do mix between the two. I like to go to failure on everything. I don't even count the reps. I go to failure on everything. But, there are times when I get super motivated and I'll write down, each exercise, set, rep, weight, and compare it to the next workout, and progressively get stronger. So, in conclusion, what do we make of all of this? Experimentation is really, really important when it comes to working out and gaining size. Whether you're a guy or a girl, okay? If you want that big booty, if you're a girl, you want to get toned or whatever, you might find that the low volume helps you to get more toned than the high volume, okay? One misconception with women is that they get scared that if they lift too heavy, they're going to get too big, sized muscles. Well, what it comes down to really is hormones. Women don't have enough testosterone in their body to get massive muscles, okay? But they can tone up, get firmer. The muscles can grow somewhat, but you don't have to worry. You're not going to be looking like Miss Olympia or Mr. Olympia just because you're lifting heavy weights. But for guys, whatever look, some people, they are into powerlifting. It's not my thing. It might not be your thing. It could be your thing. I don't know. I don't judge anyone. I know, when I do legs, I incorporate cleans, and deadlifts. I took a video of that the other day on Instagram. I'll upload it here on YouTube. I can deadlift a lot of weight. I think it was like, the first set was like 650 or 670 pounds, and I repped it. But see, I'm 5'9", Someone who's 6'2", they're lifting that bar a long way or a lot higher than the guy like me who's 5'8", 5'9". Okay, that's where we shorter people have that advantage. It's the same with the bench press. If you think about it, now I actually have crazy long arms for my height. I'd be perfect for MMA or boxing because I'd be able to keep distance. But still, a guy who's 6'1" or 6'2" is going to have long arms than me. Okay, so or 6'4", 6'5". So when they get on the bench, they're pressing a lot, higher. You got to keep that in mind than someone who's 5'8" and they're stocky and they're pushing lower amounts. All right, so it's actually possible for someone who is shorter to gain muscle mass quicker than someone who is taller and lankier. It's a lot harder if you're taller and lankier to gain muscle mass. All right, but I want to encourage you, try low volume, try high volume, give each one 6 weeks. All right, we'll talk about how much protein you really need to grow. Okay, this is, again, that's another entire topic, and supplement companies unfortunately have completely, not told the truth about really how much protein we need to grow. But give it 6 weeks, record it down on a piece of paper. You know, go by the mirror. I mean, you can go by the scales as well. You know, as long as you're not gaining fat, you know, and you're looking lean and strong and big in the mirror, you know, you're not gaining just pure fat. You know, because then the weighing yourself is useless. You're just weighing the fat, or the scales are useless. All right, but you figure out which one works better for you. Okay, and it might be that you need to just switch the two. You know, 6 weeks here, 6 weeks there, or 10 weeks here, 10 weeks there, just to shock your body into doing something different. Just like Arnold used to say. You know, Arnold never did, from what I understand, Arnold's workout routines were always different, right? Because what he understood was that the body, or the mind to muscle connection, would learn what was coming up next in the routine. Okay, so to shock the body, he would do a completely different exercise to the one he did the week before. All right, and that's definitely a principle that we can take into the gym. You know, really, it's a principle you can take into sport. I'll give you an example. Look, I don't know much about American football, but if you're doing the same thing, you know, if you're a quarterback and you're doing the same thing every time, the other team's going to work it out. But if you do something different every week, they're never going to be able to work you out, right? And you're probably going to be making a whole lot more progress than what you are right now. All right, in the NBA, okay, LeBron James, because he's so big, he can do the same thing every week and it works. No one can really stop him. But if you watch Jordan and you watch how Jordan played, it didn't matter where Jordan was on that court. It didn't matter if he was on the left, right, near the ring, you know, a long way behind the 3-point line, at the free throw line. Didn't matter where it was. He could hit. He could score from anywhere. You know, and Scottie Pippen and himself had all these different set plays. You know, they must have had 30, 40 different set plays. And the other team had absolutely no idea what they were going to call. You know, and Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan had such a great understanding of, you know, how they both worked. They could just look at each other and just by eyesight know exactly what play they were going to put together. All right? And that's the same principle we want to take into the gym. So I want to encourage you, if you're not growing on high volume, give low volume a go. You don't have to go as far as Mike Mentzer. Look his routine up on Google. All right? You can do more sets and reps than that. But give something different a go and see how your body responds. You know, keep on shocking your body. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below. You can sign up for my Instagram. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe. We do have a podcast coming up this Sunday, and that's going to be a combination of bodybuilding and personal training and cutting edge medical science. It's going to be something that has not been seen on the internet before, I don't believe. I think you really enjoy it. That's all from me for now. I'll bring another video out tomorrow. Have a good day.